folks, Crazy Climber 80 here again, and it's time we're going to look at game number 8 in our 20 from 1993 series. This game really pushed the envelope in terms of 3D polygon graphics. This is a versus fighting game called Virtua Fighter, created by Sega and its division Sega AM2. And this was the first in a long series of games with the Virtua Fighter title in them. And we'll probably look at some of the other installments in the future. But you have an 8-way joystick and 3 buttons, punch, kick, and guard. And I remember seeing this at all the arcades. This was really, really, really big. Sometimes the 3D polygon graphics look really good, and sometimes they look pretty dated and cheesy. This, unfortunately, was not completed 100% in MAME, which is the emulator I'm playing this through. So there are some things about the game that you're not going to see that were in the arcade, unfortunately. You can select from one of 8 different fighters, or you can play one match against a second player. And the 8 different characters are Akira, I think it's a karate master, Pai, and Lao, who is her father, and they're like kung fu fighters. And there's Wolf and Jeffrey, who are wrestlers, Kage the ninja, and siblings Sarah and Jackie. And then the final boss is like an android or something called Dural. You can win either by knocking out the opponent, taking all their life bar down completely, or by having more energy than them at the end of a round, or you can win by knocking them out of the arena, and it's called a ring out. And they can do the same to you, of course. We're going to go ahead and get started in a sec here. I will choose Akira. And yet, in this screen, the characters look very blocky, so it's kind of dated in that respect. I'll choose Akira. They say he's a kung fu teacher, but it kind of looks more like he's karate or something. But there are a whole bunch of moves that each character can do. And apart from the low gravity for your jumps, the moves you make are very realistic, which is kind of rare for the versus fighting games of the time. You might expect like a big old fireball that you can make from your chi, or spin through the air and kick 100 times or punch 100 times in one place or something outlandish like that. No, you don't do that in this game. It's actually kind of cool. Like I said, even with your non-fanciful moves, you have a whole bunch of them at your in your arsenal. And each character has a whole bunch. You can use moves to attack a downed player, even if you don't really know any of the moves. There are still a number of them that you can just use over and over. And each character has at least one move that's very damaging. Perhaps my favorite move by Akira is, it's like a forward and punch or something, and you do this hand palm slap to the chest or something. It can be pretty damaging, and it can knock your opponent over. I'll stop that, MAME. Or it's not MAME's fault, it's Bandicam's fault. I might need to pay for a better version of Bandicam, maybe it won't stutter like that. Kind of cool backgrounds, some of these. You can see the city off in the distance. There aren't any backgrounds that you will fall to your death if you ring out. It'll just land on the ground outside of the ring or the arena. Later in the game, I kind of farmed this ducking punch, and it kept winning me match after match. Maybe that's not present in the arcade. Maybe there's moves you can't just farm over and over, and the opponent, the computer opponent, would get suckered into it and lose. I don't know, but yeah, that's my favorite move. I love it. But by this point, if you're gonna do the attack a downed opponent move, and know that you can kind of get turned around sometimes. Oh, that was a good move. You can attack a downed opponent by like pressing down and punch, or maybe it's back and punch. But by this point, the computer opponent will likely avoid it. Note that you only get 30 seconds to beat your opponent, or have more energy than them at the end of, or when the time is out. Yeah, this was at all the arcades back then. This was very popular, even though it didn't look great sometimes. Oh boy, I was in big trouble. Did a whole bunch of backward flips, and noticed that there are replays. This was not a common thing at this point in the arcades in terms of versus fighting games, but it's after every match, which is great. Pie can be very difficult. You can knock hats or maybe a mask or maybe a headband off the opponent sometimes. She can be very tough. She has a string of moves that she likes to do, or a combo, and ends it up with a big old kick. And as I said, Pi is the daughter of the character Lao. I'm not sure which character is best. I kind of like Akira, although one thing that really sucks is, as far as I know, Akira is the only character that cannot throw. And in order to throw, I think you have to press punch and guard together, and maybe push the joystick forward when you're close to the opponent. And here's Wolf, who likes to try to knock you off the edge. And there's a glitch! How am I not counted out? Here's where I learned to just duck punch and farm it over and over on the opponent. That was weird. That probably would not be present in the arcade. But yeah, I just kept duck punching, and the opponent just kept running into it. It won't work every single time, but for some reason it seemed to work a lot here when I was playing here in Maine. And like I said, maybe this wouldn't work in the arcade. Yeah, when the characters are close up, it definitely looks kind of cheesy. You can see all the blocks, the polygon blocks that make up the characters. I probably saw the second Virtua Fighter in arcades as well. This, oh, stop it, Bandicam. This, certainly paved the way for the Tekken series, which was created by Namco. Yeah, some of these backgrounds are cool looking. You got desert and dunes in the background. I think Akira is kind of the mascot of the Virtua Fighter games. And like I was saying, some of the fighters you can knock headbands or masks or something off, and that really doesn't give you an advantage in the fight, I don't believe. And yeah, you can kind of get turned around on accident. You might need to push the joystick back towards your opponent in order to turn around. If you get really close to your opponent, your attacks might just kind of go through them or past them. So if you're that close, you might want to think about using a throw. Like I was saying, Akira, I believe, does not have a throw move, which is really kind of stupid.
Fight one.
And now we are fighting against the final boss, Dural. And Dural is one of those rare moments in an arcade video game at the time where the final boss is female. And yeah, I think Dural is like a robot or something. And you hear that clang when you attack her. Excuse me. In the match against Dural, you have to win three rounds, not just two. But Dural has all the moves of all the characters in the game, and I guess there is a trick where you can play as Dural in the arcade. And I don't remember how that works. I wrote it down and I tried it in MAME and it didn't work. But it's something like you have to beat the game, you have to watch all the credits like twice. I don't know how that works. And then you have one player select a character, and after that character smiles, then the second player has to join in, and they will become Dural. And there is no special move list or anything, unless you're looking at the move list of all the other characters. You can pull that off as Dural. Ah. I'm trying to think what other arcade games at this point or earlier had female final bosses. Dural, I believe, would be the final boss in just about every Virtua Fighter game. And during the end credits, we will see each replay of all my fights, which is kind of cool. Sorry if the sounds are a little off, not synced up properly. Couldn't really help that. But yeah, the great Yu Suzuki was behind this game. But that was Virtua Fighter by Sega in 1993, game number 8 in our 20 from 1993 series. And this was also created by the division of Sega called AM2. Yeah, this was had some impressive moments and had some cheesy moments, to be sure. The next game, Virtua Fighter 2, was created in 1994, I believe. Well, that was Virtua Fighter, game number 8 in our 20 from 1993 series, created by Sega and Sega AM2. This is Crazy Clown Racing. Thanks for watching, and I hope you join me soon for game number 7. Take it easy, everybody. Bye-bye.